Are you gonna put it in a manual ever? Just over, yeah.
Manual.
It's in manual. Manual.
Never used a flappy paddle. Oh dear God. Alright, this is Grant from Spectra Racing. I'm in Scott's Alpha 7 GTR, which has 700 horsepower.
It's like 660. Assuming a 20% drivetrain loss, which usually you assume 18%. I'm assuming 20 because it's rear-wheel drive. It might be a little lower, but based on the dyno that we got from ACG when they did the tune, it makes 530 wheel horsepower and 575 pound-feet of torque. So if you assume a 20% drivetrain loss, then you're like 660, something like that, if I remember correctly. Now, the Alpha 7 packaged his name as being 7 because of 700 horsepower. I think it's 700 horsepower capable with a more aggressive tune for 93 octane. Because it's tuned right now for 91, and it's really, really rich, which is actually fine. I don't mind it being rich and being a little more on the conservative side for the sake of reliability. I think it's definitely 700 horsepower capable as it sits, and especially I'm really tempted to go to E85, so it'd definitely be more than 700 brake horsepower. Oh yeah,
That'd be safer.
so, but that will happen probably after I get a trailer. Just because, I mean,
It's kind of hard to find.
it's going to be really tricky to, there's not that many places in Florida that have it. Fortunately, there's a place that's on my way to and from work, so it's not that big of a deal from that standpoint. But we'll see. I don't know. I haven't made up my mind yet. Nothing's definitive. But E85 would be fun, although the car does not need more power. Although I've heard that with the E85, I've heard a lot of people who have Subarus that the E85 made their boost, their cars boost up a little quicker. I don't know if that's because colder exhaust temperatures. Yeah. Are you going to put it in a manual ever? Just over, yeah.
Manual.
It's in manual. Manual.
Never used a flappy paddle. Oh dear God. Okay, I guess I take everything back I said about GTRs. That's pretty quick. That's just like
Yeah, you just got done driving Mike's GT350, and let's see.
Yeah, so on this same stretch of road, with
By the way, it's 55 over here, so you don't have to putt around like a grandpa.
So on that same stretch of road there, I just drove Mike's GT350. On that same stretch of road there, gave it the beans and got up to speed pretty quickly. Here, in this car, dear Lord, it got much faster, I'll say that.
Yeah. Not to say that the GT350 is slow by anything. Everything, it's all relative, because the GT350 is comparable in weight.
Or is it 6-speed?
Yes, it is a 6-speed.
Can I put it back into automatic?
Yeah, just bump it back over to M again. Yep.
Okay.
So,
Putting around.
yeah, I mean, 520, 530 brake horsepower. I mean, so more than 100 horsepower difference.
Yeah,
You wouldn't think that once it gets to be that high of a number that 100 horsepower difference would make that big of a difference, but it really does. A lot of that has to do with the fact that being a Voodoo engine is a very, you have to really get into the RPM range to make that much power, whereas this one, with 575 pound-feet of torque, I think that's the difference, because you might know this better than me, but I think the GT350's making less than 400 wheel torque.
Yeah,
I think it's in the high 300s. So they make a lot of power, but they don't make a ton of torque. And this car makes a ton of torque really quickly.
Yeah, and it just
really
surges on.
slams you into the seat.
Oh, there's 50 miles an hour.
Yeah, there's the speed limit. And you weren't even getting on it at all.
No, that was like 30%.
That's the frustrating thing about driving this car in traffic is like you get so jaded with the speed and so familiar with the sense of acceleration that it's really easy to just be speeding everywhere.
So when you watch like Top Gear and they say, oh, you know, this car is 1,000 horsepower and it's just, you know, impossible to use anywhere, like I never really had gotten to have a sensation like that because the Mustang, yeah, it was fast, but it wasn't like this fast, whereas I'm giving it like 30% throttle and I got up to speed nearly instantly at the speed limit. So it is, I can see how it can be frustrating to drive something like this.
Definitely.
With so much power.
And it's something that you have to be, you know, aware of because, you know, it's for someone who's not used to or accustomed to a vehicle with this kind of power. And it's one of the reasons that I if someone just like, hey, can I drive your car? 9 times out of 10, I'm going to say, no thanks. Just because the average person might think, oh, I'm going to pass this guy real quick, and there could be traffic around, and in their car, they might, every time that they go to pass somebody, be able to floor it. But in this car, if you floor it, I mean, it's just, like right now, there's probably 7-8 car lengths between us, if not more, between us and the car in front of us, but if we floored it, we would be on them in like 2 seconds.
It does make a lot of interesting noises.
Yeah,
Whereas my car, I guess I wouldn't even know if my car makes interesting noises because it just goes blah 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 blah. Yeah,
oh, it makes 2 noises. It makes that one, and it also is from anybody who's sitting in the passenger seat.
Yeah, so I wouldn't really know if there's anything horribly wrong with my car until it like really and truly breaks.
Yeah, that was one thing that I actually was really surprised with, and like you said, I kind of enjoy the fact that it does, like, it makes a lot of very mechanical noises, like click, click, clunk.
Yeah.
You know, it makes it you're constantly aware of the fact that it's not a Camry, or you know,
yeah,
in this case, a Maxima.
Now I do make fun of this vehicle a lot for being, you know, like a PlayStation, but I think after driving it, you know, it still obviously is doing everything for you, but you really do get a sense of the mechanical feel of it, because it does make all these interesting noises and clicks, and you can hear the transmission whine and all the things like that.